Okay, we've got brand new updates in the H3 versus Ian and ANISA, IDubbbz and ANISA, Ian Jomha and ANISA Jomha lawsuit. Okay, guys, here's what's happening, basically, or here's the key update from what I've seen. ANISA is also being sued for a tweet in which she says, drugs, ? That is apparently deemed to be defamatory enough for Ethan Klein to pursue a lawsuit over. A humorous tweet where she goes, drugs? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I could be wrong. I haven't looked into it yet. So I could be totally wrong and proven wrong in this segment, in which case, that'd be crazy. However, that's what I've heard. So let's take a look. Let's see what's going on.
So here we go again. IDubbbz's wife, ANISA Jomha, has posed in the middle of a parking garage. Wait, what are you guys going to court for? I'm out of the loop. I've been off the internet for a while. To clarify, yes, I am named in the defamation lawsuit seeking $1 million. We're both being sued by Ethan Klein, me specifically, for tweeting drugs. Now that might turn out to be true, and maybe I didn't see that, but it sounds like she just made that up. But again, I don't know. You have to give charitability to these people because I don't give charitability to anyone else. People rightfully are confused on why, whether Ethan dropped the lawsuit or not. The short answer...
Dude, like double psychic damage. That's like triple psychic damage even. He says, you have to give charitability to these people because they don't give charitability to anyone else. Now, there's like 4 layers of psychic damage this is causing me. Charitability, number 1. Layer 2 of psychic damage I'm receiving here. Usually, he would say that you don't have to because they never do. But he's been pressed about takes like that, so it's changed. Now he's saying it the other way. But it doesn't make any sense this way. It sounds like something you would say sarcastically, but he doesn't say it sarcastically. He says it earnestly, because again, he doesn't want to get for seeming like he's being bitter. It's like literally so many layers of psychic damage in that one little, it's like he's trying to, it's not quite a standard. It's like he is trying to reason through a standard though. That is like reasoning through a standard and totally failing.
The answer is no. The apology which Ian did, truly of his own volition, without any instruction from Ethan's legal team, was not enough for Ethan to actually drop it. I assume this is the public-facing apology, because there is an update here, and it's not a good one. That's all I'm choosing to say about at this moment. Did he drop it? No. Did they say he was going to drop it publicly? Yes. So, I don't know if it's here. Yesterday, I got put into a suit and drove 3 hours to sit in a courtroom. Did we get the answer we hoped for? No. Will I be wearing more suits and making more drives in the near future? Probably. But at least we're doing it together. Had an excuse to grab a coffee and listen to a new podcast and hang out. I'm lucky. I feel that every day, especially on days like yesterday where I couldn't imagine doing this with anyone but my husband. Are you guys starting to realize what happened? It sounds like the judge didn't agree that Ian's statement on stream was enough. That, like, by not mentioning the thing that he was apologizing for associating with, this is what people were speculating. It sounds like he went to the hearing, which should have just...
Yeah, but Nick, this all makes Ethan's whole thing a lie, right? His whole thing was a lie. He lied. He said, I'm dropping the lawsuit because of this heartfelt apology. And then he didn't drop the lawsuit and wanted more. And he still wants more. It's still not enough. You understand that's what's happening here, right, Nick? We're all tuned into that now, right, Nick? We all understand that's what's going on here.
Just been a simple, like, all right, the lawsuit is over. We've mutually agreed to drop it. It sounds like the version that we saw, the judge didn't think it actually satisfied the requirement.
You know who could decide that it satisfies the requirement at any time? You know who could literally just say, I'm satisfied. Let's drop this. At any time. They don't
charitability or charity. Oh, fuck, that's bad. Not exactly. Base judge, it's hilarious. Yeah, basically my understanding was this would just be a system where they go in there and they present what Ian has said, and if the judge deems that it's what was required, the lawsuit ends.
Required by who?
At the very least, things have appeared to be complicated. Because they're stating that they did not get the result they were looking for. And the result they were looking for...
You should have me anything relevant.
Okay, IDubbbz, you have done the thing. It's over. Oh, Maple Nia has posted something in stream. Let me see. Okay, open media. Hello, I had to sit in court and hear a 60-year-old working professional repeatedly repeat the word snark. This was fit for the occasion. Final decision, too subjective to enforce the signed agreement. Still being sued. We'll update with more when we can. What does that mean? This is more questions than answers. So is it not in relation to iDubbbz's statement, too subjective to enforce the signed agreement? Are they just like trapped maxing right now? Holy shit, dude. Gotta love Canadian law. I mean, listen, don't go to Canada, dude. Do not live in Canada. Dude, all the people, I'm gonna flee the country if the election doesn't go my way. It's a good thing that none of them left, because holy shit, dude, this sounds terrifying. I thought that the UK was bad. I don't know. Listen, we live in a state where where kids aren't safe at a school.
Well, at least if you win, it's like presumed that the other side pays your fees.
School, because people just like, yeah, obviously. So I'm not saying that the United States is like the beacon of morality, but from a speech perspective, if you're an online public figure, I would specifically want to avoid aspects of the UK and Canada and Australia while we're at it. All those places seem like really bad. Yeah, wow. All right, that's not good. It's basically up to Ethan to decide if it's suitable. I don't think that's true either. It was why would it default from a judge to Ethan if it was?
Nick, the lawsuit only continues if Ethan wants it to. It isn't like it's not a criminal case. It's being brought by Ethan. It's a case being brought by Ethan. He can just drop it. He can say, actually, we agree. That they're saying the agreement is too subjective to enforce. As in, the two sides could have two different views of it, and therefore it can't be enforced at this time. More has to be hashed out. That's what's being said there, Nick. If Ethan simply agrees that what they've done is sufficient, it's done. It's done.
Was a judge previously. The judge is like, I don't know, man, you fucking deal with this on your own. Like, really? No, I don't think that's how that works. UK is just as bad on speech. Well, the Dankula thing comes to mind, yeah. There's another one. What is this? Oh, hi, thank you.
Get close to your mic.
I don't know why ANISA can't just release a statement. She's got a trickle feed. More solid clarification, sorry on my part. The specific wording in the suit was a quote from me commenting on a tweet that I had made previously in passing in Ian's livestream. Oh, so this is the reference, not a joke. On or about March 24th, ANISA Joma published a statement suggesting Mr. Klein was on drugs in one of his online videos, stating, bro is on something here. His pupils look as big as his iris. He's cooked. Here's another reason why I'm included in the lawsuit. I feel like this is just one aspect of it, no?
I really hope her tweets get submitted into the record, and both of them have to read a KC Tron-style message. Her posting is just sent back to thinking it's a good thing EK sued.
I just don't understand, dude. I don't know. Maybe this is some huge principle thing.
Okay, let's run this back a minute.
She's got a trickle feed.
Hopefully fix that.
More solid clarification, sorry on my part. The specific wording in the suit was a quote from me commenting on a tweet that I had made previously in passing in Ian's livestream. Oh, so this is the reference, not a joke. On or about March 24th, ANISA Joma published a statement suggesting Mr. Klein was on drugs in one of his online videos, stating, bro is on something here. His pupils look as big as his iris. He's cooked. Here's another reason why I'm included in the lawsuit. I feel like this is just an aspect of it, no?
I really hope her tweets get submitted into the record, and both of them have to read a KC Tron-style message. Her posting is just sent back to thinking it's a good thing EK sued.
I just don't understand, dude. I don't know. Maybe this is some huge principle thing that I clearly have completely abandoned, shot, but I feel like I would just turn around and say snark is bad when that was requested. I do agree that if Ethan said he was dropping the lawsuit based off the statement, objectively, he should have.
It was not stipulated that you had to say snark was bad. That was not stipulated in the agreement, you fucking loser. Like, it's just literally, how can I make this, like, not seem that bad for Ethan and actually be Ian and Anissa's fault? No, it's not their fault. They didn't engage in a way that was in any way wrong. He's suing them for totally bullshit reasons, whether Canada's legal system agrees with that or not. And he's lied about it every step of the way in public.
Drop the lawsuit. I think there is criticism, like I've said previously, that Ethan has to take on that one. He said it was done, and then they pulled him back in. You know what I mean? So that is definitely something immediately that comes to mind. But from iDubbbz's perspective, if he's been asked to apologize for participation in snark communities, if the apology that he gave Ethan was true, the way he's arguing that it was statements from his heart, right? That he wanted to change the direction of his content, that he didn't like the direction he was moving into, combined with his past history and subreddits, They log the fuck out of him, right? Subreddits, Kiwi Farms users. Again, these are people who'd go into on the podcast and talk about the damage that these online spaces, quote unquote snark, now it's called snark, back then it used to be called haters, have done to like Ian's marriage. They've targeted his objective to his family to harassment based off ANISA's OnlyFans. These guys kind of have like a trauma bond for this specific issue. So you'd think that iDubbbz himself wouldn't be lying. He wouldn't be telling a mistruth by disavowing his actions there. You think that he'd be able to connect the dots, like, oh, this is a tactic that others have used to defame and harass my family, right? That's his argument. This is things that they've used to inflict duress to my wife. So maybe there's a moment where I can go, oh, I've used the enemy's weapon or something, right? I assume that it wouldn't be too much to, like, not too much to ask, but too much for iDubbbz to muster up a disavowal of a system that has been used to cripple him, in his opinion.
He did. He just didn't use some gay little word that Ethan wants him to use, I guess is the contention here.
Opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking this too much. I'm too hard on this.
The GOAT. Thank you for the $5, my man.
I don't get it. I don't get, like, digging your feet in the trenches on this one. It doesn't excuse the fact that Ethan said he would drop the lawsuit initially, but it makes it much more confusing to me why he won't just say it. Well, it wasn't an apology, was it? Nope. Ethan said he instructed his lawyers to drop the lawsuit, and I find that an appropriate distinction to I'm going to drop the lawsuit. I find that it's kind of cope. At the end of the day, if you tell your lawyers drop this lawsuit, and they're like, actually, we can squeeze more out of him, and you go, oh, okay, let's do that. That doesn't really jive for me. How is she so ignorant as to continue posting about it? You say nothing unless instructed by your lawyer.
So just worthless couch
again, she has the lol cow gene.
Taking a fucking position,
and for any legal entity watching, I don't mean that she's literally got a gene that's called the lol cow gene. It's more of a satirical comment regarding her inability to put the phone down. Now, we know how much is on the line for the lawsuit. Well done, ANISA. Thank you for giving more embarrassing details of your personal life for no reason. What is it about lol cows with their seeming infinite tendency to overshare? Well, that's how they got there. That's how they got to that spot. So that's the big update. Additionally, there's a schizophrenic post on the fucking iDubbbz stalker subreddit that I figured we would check out. Keep in mind, grain of salt. Apparently this person just showed up to the court. I don't know if that's true. It probably isn't true if we're being real about this, but I do want to read it because it's funny and we're in the intro. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Was already downtown in Calgary and decided to pop into the gallery yesterday. This sounds like a fan fiction already. Wanted to share since I know that not everyone could make it out. I don't know why anyone would it. Why the fuck would anyone make it out at all? Why would you do that? These are my own full notes, not an official transcript, so some details might be slightly off. I'm happy to be corrected if anyone caught it live. I can't believe Ian and ANISA traveled 3 hours. I saw them in the courtroom and they were near the back. Jennifer Blanchard from Wilson Laycraft appeared for the Ian and ANISA, and yeah, these are the judges, or not the judges, the lawyers. Judge Farrington was presiding, and King's, yeah, whatever. Judge denied the application to enforce settlement.
The key thing here, right, is that in the timeline, Ian's statement, so there's the first apology, which doesn't get Ethan to drop the lawsuit. Then Moist Critical makes a video. Ian makes a second apology. Ethan says he's dropping the lawsuit. Between then and now, they start doing settlement negotiations and negotiate the actual terms of dropping the lawsuit, which includes a non-disparagement agreement for both parties, and includes a further statement. So Ian makes a further statement, and the next day, after Ian's made the statement and notified them that he's made the statement, Ethan's team returns a signed copy of the settlement agreement to Ian's team. So that pretty clearly signals you're satisfied with the statement that was made. You make the statement that you agree to. The next day, once you've notified them, they send over the signed agreement. There is no reason Ian should have had to think that wasn't a satisfactory agreement. There is no a satisfactory statement. The idea this is their fault in any way is so fucking stupid. It is like entirely Ethan just trying to extract more out of them every step of the way.
Rough summary of reasoning. The court found real doubt.
And the idea that Nick is like cheerleading, just Ethan endlessly compelling more and more speech from people. It's so fucking crazy. Like he's saying, oh, just say snark bad. Just say snark bad. Why should they have to?
As to whether a settlement was actually concluded. Courts can fill gaps in a contract, and settlement is a contract on an objective basis, but only where the parties intended an objective standard to apply. Here, the parties did not set an objective standard. The standard was whether Ian's statements was subjectively satisfactory to Ethan. The statement needed to be satisfactory to one person, and that was Mr. Klein. Because of that, the court can't step in and rule the apology as good enough, since that would be substituting its own judgment for a subjective standard that belongs to just Ethan. The judge noted the extensive back and forth between counsel and suggested the parties contemplated a more formal, finalized agreement and not something resolved informally. Nothing stopped Ian from getting pre-approval on the statement before posting it, but that didn't happen, and the court won't retroactively deem it as sufficient after the fact. The judge was really cool, and he gave a great contract law lesson. He also really expressed the hope that both parties can still settle on their own, but declined to impose it. I think we're going to go see more fulsome apology soon.
So, see that? So, this literally, Nick was acting like Ethan couldn't just drop it, like it was out of his hands or something. Says so clearly here. He also expressed the hope that both parties could still settle on their own, but declined to impose it. Because what was happening here is Ian and ANISA asking for enforcement of the settlement agreement. And Ethan is refusing to abide, well, not abide, because that's what the question here is, whether it's abiding or not. But is refusing to settle. He's refusing to stop.
So maybe that's how it's going to go. That if this is true, if this fan fiction is real, maybe it wasn't that Ian didn't do anything correct. Maybe it was just that, like, the settlement was stupid.
Right.
And asking the judge...
It couldn't possibly be that Ethan wants more and more and wants to compel more speech out of them. That couldn't possibly be it. Obviously, that would be way too indicting on Ethan and would run completely contrary to every narrative he's spun about this copyright-abusing, litigious, insane Zionist for the last 2 years.
Just to do it that way was stupid. So maybe that's just like on the delivery of how the lawyers decided to process this. Maybe that, if that turns out to be the case, that makes sense to me. I can't tell if it's real or fake. It might entirely be fake. Who knows? Apparently there's an eyewitness news who showed up there. Thank you, sire. Is there anybody here saying like this shows that Ethan lied when he said he was dropping it? Just like I said. Wow, you must be really in tune to this one. Lots of idiots in this sub claim that Ethan was forced to do this, and this proves that's not the case. I actually, you know what? That is a good point. I haven't seen anybody dispel the fact that Ethan was forced to move forward once it reached a certain point. But if the judge is saying, again, I'm basing this off a schizo post on Reddit, there's no actual...
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Any of these statements. If the judge thinks that they can still settle on their own...
He's so fucking stupid.
Then that does imply that they didn't need to do any of this to begin with.
Whoa, no way.
So
whoa.
That was a good point. This is why on scrolls.
Wait, you mean it's all Ethan's decision? You mean Ethan's deciding to do this every step of the way? It's only being pushed along because Ethan still wants it to be happening? Wait, you're saying it's just because Ethan wants more concessions and it's only being pushed along by one party? And that Ian and ANISA are defendants? And that the judge is simply an arbitrator who comes to a decision about which side is in the right? And that Ethan is the plaintiff, meaning that he is the one bringing a case and making the decision to put things through the legal system? Wait, no fucking way, man. Whoa. Dude, that's fucking crazy. Dude, my mind is fucking blown.
Subreddit, what was that? What happened? Did it glitch out on your end? Because on my end, everything looks fine. Let me see. Did it, like, glitch? Don't scroll on Reddit. The judge is saying that Ethan doesn't like the apology. That's not what I got out of this. Good here, yeah.
That is literally what it said. Let's hear that again.
Did it, like, glitch? Don't scroll on Reddit. The judge is saying that Ethan doesn't like the apology. That's not what I got out of this.
Here, the parties didn't set an objective standard. The standard was whether Ian's statement was subjectively satisfactory to Ethan. The statement needed to be satisfactory to one person, and that was Mr. Klein.
Good glitch. Don't scroll on Reddit. The judge is saying that Ethan doesn't like the apology. That's not what I got out of this.
It's beyond parody. Yeah, American literacy crisis. It's crazy, dude. This guy is so fucking stupid.
Good here, yeah, it did. Oh, wait, I'm lagging? I don't know. So anyway, we can move forward from there. Let's keep it on the wraps. ANISA says the near-miss car accident has her worried her haters would win if they die. Is this an old clip? I've never heard this one before. Okay. I thought I'd ask.
Literally, who cares?